So I'm recording with my phone because once I got in the car and mounted my camera and turned it on because I'm on my way to work, there was no card in the camera. So I'm wanting to share my experience with the Nexplanon birth control implant that goes in your arm. So yesterday I got mine removed, and I've had it about 2.5 years. You're supposed to leave it in for 3 years, but I took mine out earlier because I do suffer from migraines. You know, I've been diagnosed and everything prior to getting the Nexplanon, way before getting the next one, like many years ago. And so I take medication for that because I have them quite often, and if you suffer from migraines, you know, it's just not like over-the-counter medication that you can take for it. They actually prescribe you medication, preventative medication, as well as, you know, onset medication. So I've noticed lately, you know, within like the past probably 8 to 12 months, that the severity of my migraines has increased dramatically. And what I mean by the severity of them is that I can't even, like, it's not even tolerable anymore. Like, when I have the migraine and I take the medication for the migraine, the medication is not even working because that's how severe and painful it is. It's so painful to the fact that I have to either go to urgent care and get a shot, or this most recent time go to the ER because I'm in so much pain, it scares me. Like, I'm thinking to myself, this is more than a migraine. And sometimes they tell me it's a really bad sinus infection, which I get because of the seasonal changes and just because of what time of year it is, right? Well, at that point in time, it was like, you know, the beginning of summer or whatever, because we're at the end of July right now. So I get that. But when you have pain, like headache pain, migraine pain, whatever you want to categorize it as, to the point that nothing helps, not over-the-counter medication, not like Excedrin migraine, Tylenol, ibuprofen, goody powder, or your prescription medication, something like that it'll scare you. It'll make you feel like something else is going on. And that's kind of how the ER was, because at the same time, when I'm in this severe pain, like, it always elevates my blood pressure really bad. And you know, if you've ever been in pain and been checked by a doctor, if you're in severe pain, it sometimes elevates your blood pressure. So they just kind of rule it as your blood pressure is elevated because you're in pain. And so that's scary too, because of the different things that I've faced in my family with like the older generation with blood pressure or whatever. So that's really hard. So nonetheless, because now I'm getting off on a tangent about migraines, the severity of my migraines had increased, and also like the weight. Like, I put on a tremendous amount of weight and have been consistently trying to lose this weight for some time now, and it's not budging. I mean, I've never, for one, been this heavy, and for two, I've never like persistently tried to lose weight and nothing happened. And when I say persistently tried to lose weight and nothing happened, even if I do lose some pounds, it always comes back, and then it comes back, and then more is added. And so I'm like, this is not normal. You know, I mean, if you're familiar, if you get in touch with your own personal self, you know how your body operates, and you know, what's normal for you and what's not normal for you, and this is not normal for me to have put on this amount of weight and then it not budge. I have consistently been working out for the past 5 or 6 months and just nothing. I have been consistently, monitoring what I'm eating for the past 5 or 6 months and nothing. I think the most that I've lost is like 9 pounds, and it's just not. I don't know what's the matter. So those are the main 2 reasons why I just had to get it out. And I would like to see if it makes a difference. Like, I would like to, but I'm not even on any birth control. Like, I didn't even get on any other birth control when they removed it. I just said, let me just let my body just go back to normal, let it, just let it naturally, flow like it's supposed to, and then I'll see, if there's a change, if there's a difference, and then go from there. The process, it was very simple. Of course, they, like when I got it inserted, she had to numb me twice, and she had to do the same thing when she removed it. She had to numb me twice because I could feel like the scrape of whatever. Like, she didn't let me look at what she was doing, but she just would ask me, can I feel anything? And I told her when, she did the first test, I told her I could or whatever. And so she numbed me up some more. And then, of course, I didn't watch them remove it. They have you look away. So I looked away. And if I'm not looking at the camera, or when I'm looking at the camera, I was stopped at a traffic light. But now traffic is flowing again, and so I just can't look at the phone and, watch the road at the same time. So she had me look away, and it didn't take long for her to get it out. It was a fairly easy process. I will say this, you have like a little biopsy type hole in your arm from them removing it, and so they put stair strips on it to kind of pull your skin back together, and then they put a bandage over the stair strips, and then they wrap it in the adhesive gauze, the gauze that kind of that adheres on its own. And I think I was wrapped, I think the nurse wrapped it too tight because my arm hurt all day yesterday, to the point where I ended up getting feverish and headachy, like I had a headache. I just felt bad. I just didn't feel good at all. And I ended up laying down, when I got home and stuff for the rest of the evening, because I just felt really, really bad. And then I ended up taking the adhesive gauze off, and because it was too tight, I showered and everything was fine. And then Montez put the adhesive gauze back on, like kind of loose, just regularly. And somehow in my sleep, it came off along with the stair strips and the band-aid, and my gown was just like on the same side as where I had the Nexplanon on, was just blood everywhere. And I was just like, wow, I lost a lot of blood while I was asleep. Like, I was being all dramatic and stuff. But from that tiny little bitty hole, there was like blood covered like all on my left side of my gown. And I'm like, that's very weird. And then what my other concern was, the stair strips are used to pull your skin together. So with them coming off, I don't want a big hole. Well, it's not a big hole, but I don't want a hole in my arm, nor do I want like a bad mark, because you already bruised from them taking it out and putting it in. So I already have some bruising, but I don't want a mark. So I'm gonna have to find a time, I guess on my lunch break, because I'm headed to work, to maybe go to the pharmacy and see can I find some stair strips. And right now it's kind of like, you know, not it's an aggravating pain, you know, like it's not very intense, you know, it's just like a aching pain in my arm. So yeah, I will say I like the Nexplanon for the most part because I didn't have a menstrual cycle the entire time that I had it. I had some spotting here and there, but that was like I started having spotting probably in the last 6 to 8 months. Nothing too severe. Well, like maybe twice I've had some bleeding where it lasted quite some time, like 1 to 2 weeks, but it wasn't like a heavy flow. And when I didn't have the Nexplanon, I was very, very heavy, and hence that's the reason, you know, that was the reason why I got the Nexplanon to begin with, to regulate my menstrual cycle, because it was, my flow was just extremely heavy to the point I could not tolerate it. So that was my alternative. And of course to prevent pregnancy. So yes, so I didn't have very many complications. Some months I would experience very, very soreness and tenderness of my breast, and because I've had like a tragic incident occur, like shortly after I got the birth control, I associated my anxiety and sadness and all that towards that incident. But after reading many reviews of like the experiences that other ladies have experienced, I'm starting to believe that all that may have been contributed from the Nexplanon, like the anxiousness and the sadness and all that I experienced. So those may have been some side effects. So I'm gonna see how, you know, what kind of changes I experience now that I've gotten it removed. I know it's gonna take some time for my body to regulate itself back to normal. So I'm going to come back and give an update. I'll try to insert some pictures of what my arm looks like now with it removed and the bruising. And since I don't have stair strips on there, maybe show you all the hole and what it looks like in my arm from being removed. But so yeah, that was the reason why I got the next one removed mainly. And now I'm gonna see if, you know, I still experience any anxiety and, you know, just other moody changes. Because before, oh yeah, and another thing, night sweats. Oh my God, I don't ever remember having night sweats prior to having the next one on, but once I, you know, that was another big issue. I would like be so wet I would think I have peed on myself, and I'm like, did I pee on myself? Because that's how wet I would be, and that's how wet my bed would be and my sheets would be. But it was merely nights, me sweating in my sleep. And my friend said she would experience the same thing, but I guess, you know, she had the next one on too, but, you know, at the time, neither one of us was associating it with the Nexplanon. And now looking back on it, I think that had something to do with it as well. So I'm just going to see how all, you know, once my body goes back to normal and regulates itself back to normal, I'm going to see if, you know, all of those different mood changes and, you know, hormonal changes have anything to do with the Nexplanon. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll come back probably in 2 months with an update, so maybe toward the end of September, and give you all an update, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and give this video a thumbs up.